Well, I think no doubt. I think the teams that have the best starting pitching, I think the teams that have the best starting and bullpen pitching, let me reframe that. I think at the end of the day, you got to think about teams like the Washington Nationals, the New York Yankees, even the Tampa Bay Rays, right? They know how to pitch. They know what it takes to get themselves to that 90, 95 win season. So I think if any team does have the advantage in a short season like this, it could be even the Cincinnati Reds. They've got great starting pitching. So I think in general, the team that has the best pitching is going to usually end up as a winner in this situation.
Well, Swish, first of all, great background. You won the background contest, the beach and the water and the fern left. So first of all, it's 1-0 Swish right out of the gate. Hey, you know what I like? Position players pitching. Major League Baseball is going to roll back this rule that you couldn't pitch if you're a position player unless it's a blowout or extra innings. And now they changed it. Like now everybody can go, so we can get chances to see this guy out there throwing the ball around. So come
you
on in.
See that too often.
It's great.
That was amazing, man. Hey, just to be able to have the opportunity to do something like that was amazing. Thank goodness it was only one time. Scariest moment of my life, man. When you're used to being 250 feet away in the outfield, and then all of a sudden you're 60 feet away.
That's a good point.
It's a lot closer.
That's a good point.
That's awesome. And to Swish's point about starting pitching, I think my answer is the Astros. And it's not just because, even though they lost Cole, they have great starting pitching, but it's more because the story of this season was going to be the way baseball reacted, teams, fans, everyone, to the Astros scandal. Now the story has been the pandemic, the 60 games. There's likely not even going to be fans in order to be heckling them. So I feel like the Astros getting off a little cheap here. So I feel like they actually oddly benefit from this more than just about anybody else, Jenna.
Swish, let's get your opinion here. Who is your pick to win all of it this season?
I mean, come on, y'all. You know I bleed pinstripes. So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm going with the New York Yankees. I think, like I said a little bit earlier, it's been the best thing that has happened to this organization with guys like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. A lot of these guys being injured in spring training. This break gives them that time to get themselves ready and get back on the field for a full 60-game season. I think it's so cool that it's something we've never done before. You're going to have to get out of the gates extremely quick this year. If you get off to an 0-5, maybe like a 2-10 start, that could be the end of the season for you. The one team I'm really interested in watching as well is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, come on, man. Those guys next to each other in the outfield, the best left-handed, right-handed hitters in the game. So to be able to see those guys play next to each other, man, I am so excited to see that.
Now, Nick, as you know, I don't bleed pinstripes. I just kind of sweat pinstripes because I'm a really Red Sox fan. But like,
you like five
pinstripes. Look, Yankees are my pick too. They're my second favorite team. I'm super interested in the urgency of the season and the rivalries. Those 10 games against the Red Sox take on added importance, and the games against the Mets take on added importance. So the rivalries get even more intense, Nick.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dodgers. Now, full disclosure, I picked the Dodgers to come out of the NL and to win the World Series 4 of the last 5 years. They got to do it at some point, Swish. I understand that Kershaw was probably 85% of what he once was, but what he once was arguably one of the 5 greatest regular season pitchers of all time.
Agreed.
You mentioned Bellinger and Betts, potentially the best 2, 3, or wherever they hit in the lineup this year in all of baseball now that the addition and the sense of urgency for the Dodgers. You traded all that talent away for a full season of Mookie Betts, and now you're getting like a mini season of Mookie Betts. I think the Dodgers finally break through this year, Jenna.
How will the Astros be received by opposing teams and players this season?
Yeah, I definitely think the Houston Astros are still in my penalty box for a little bit. There's no doubt about that. I think this is the luckiest thing that could have happened to any sort of team ever in sports. The fact that you go through a sign-stealing scandal like they did, and then all of a sudden there's going to be no fans in the stands to heckle them. Listen, I'm in Los Angeles as well, and I knew every Dodger fan in America was driving to Anaheim for that opening series to give the Houston Astros exactly what they deserve. So I think if there is a team that does benefit from this pandemic, from this shortened season, from this no fans, Houston Astros are definitely right there at the top.
I actually think because I agree with Swish, They're kind of getting let off the hook. And I think, listen, if you believe in almost like crowd mentality, I think some of the aggressiveness from other teams was going to be spurned on by the crowd. The crowd we don't think is going to be there. So I think the Astros are going to get beamed less than expected. I think they're going to be facing less vitriol from opponents than expected because you don't have 25,000 people spewing venom at them. So I do think nobody got lucky in the pandemic. But the Astros are, it would appear, going to come out about as well as anybody could have, Jim.
Who are you most excited to watch this year?
Well, I think there's two guys that really stand out in my mind right now. One would be Mookie Betts, and the other one would be Garrett Cole. And the reason why I say I want to see Mookie Betts, because you got to remember, he spent his entire career in the American League. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to the National League. He's facing different pitchers. He's playing in different ballparks, and he only has 60 games to prove his worth. So at the end of the day, I hope he doesn't put too much pressure on himself, because if he does what he knows he's capable of doing in that Los Angeles Dodger lineup, hey, Nick, you might be right, bro. They might finally win the World Series, bro.
I'm looking at the race for 400. Cody Bellinger was the closest guy last year. He batted 376 through 60 games. Historically, Larry Walker is the best in the wild card. He had 417. Nick, we also get the very rare deserved asterisk if this happens. I'm a Ted Williams guy, although I'm a kind of Yankee fan. Still a Ted Williams guy. So I'm interested to see if this can happen this year.
All right, listen, my answer was Mookie Betts, but our guy Swish took all my ammo. So since Swish stole my answer, I'm going to do something I've never done. Swish, I don't know if they can put us both on camera. Swish, I'm going to steal your hairdo. Hold on. Wait, what, you haven't seen me in a long time, right? Oh, damn, it won't stand up.
No.
It won't stand up like yours.
No.
There, let me. I haven't seen you in months. I'm trying to get it to stand up like Swish.
Wildes is already there with the
long.
hair. You
Too
missed
much
it.
weight.
You're way off, Nick.
Too much weight. Swish, you got to teach me how you do yours,
Put
man.
that down.
Yours looks dope.
Swish,
Mine looks
as always.
stupid.
I'm going to send you some product.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.